Hi, this is Tom Nicholson, the Director of Business Development for Webiplex. Today we're going to take a look at DocuPeak's integration with Netsuite and how it relates to an accounts payable workflow. I'd like to begin with one of our capture utilities. This is the DocuPeak ScanBench Smart Client. This tool is typically used for high volume distributed scanning, front-end indexing, and it is typically connected to a local scanner to scan high volume amounts of paper in. So I've taken the liberty of pre-scanning in a few invoices for the purposes of this demo. As you can see, I've got one up here for American Computers, and over on the right hand side is where we have the folder we'll be sending it to on the cloud, and the particular DocuPeak form that's going to identify this invoice. So, real quick, DocuPeak form just defines the data or the data fields that are used to index content, and in this case, an invoice. And keep in mind too that I logged into the ScanBench utility, so based on my login credentials, determined what I can see and have access to as far as a folder or form information. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use database lookup into Netsuite. So I'm just going to type in A and pull down the list of vendors. In this case, it only happens to be 1A for American Computers. You notice it also pulled in a vendor ID as well from the Netsuite table. Now please keep in mind, we could set this up in numerous ways. We do support Zone OCR as well, so we could read zone images off the page and populate fields as well. We recognize barcodes. We also have automated indexing tools such as classification, form recognition, and MRU, which is most recently used to populate the fields as well. But in this particular example, we're just going to go ahead and fill in some of the fields manually. Key from image. Again, there are numerous ways DocuPeak can capture data and information. Take a look at our amount here. And we're going to set the status of this as well at the point of scan. So we're going to leave this at review, and I'm going to send this directly to accounting, because in this example, accounting is going to send this invoice to the approver. They're going to identify who it needs to be sent to. However, the scan operator here is able to set the distributions. So we're going to go ahead and look up into Netsuite and just pull down from some expense accounts. And for example, here, this one's 175, and this might have been for the upcoming tech show. We do support discussion threads, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and add another distribution. And this one's for service, 200 maybe for the same tech show. And we could put an overall comment as well. I'm not going to fill that in, but we do have that ability. Keep in mind there are also abilities to put in any associated documents as well, so we can relate documents at the point of scan if there was a PO related to this invoice. I'm going to click Save, off to the cloud. And here's the interface into Netsuite. So with our integration into Netsuite, we do have single sign-on, so we can log directly into the Netsuite login page without logging in at the DocuPeak web login page. So makes for a great tight integration. You can access DocuPeak outside of Netsuite, but if you wanted to leverage the single sign-on, you simply log in here. Okay, well here's the Netsuite site. We do have a DocuPeak tab inserted in the menu. Now keep in mind we can insert DocuPeak entities just about anywhere we want within NetSuite. For the purposes of this demo, we just put one at top. I mean, we could have named this, accounting tab, AP tab, whatever it is you'd want to customize it to. And that's really one of the benefits of DocuPeak, is we can really customize the terminology to match what your organization is doing, as opposed to having to use default terminology. So here's our American Computers invoice that was scanned in. This is a sample invoice queue for accounting to manage the invoices coming in. So we're just going to view this one. So as the accounting router, I'm going to go ahead and leave this in review, and I'm going to send this over to IT because I know that's where this needs to go. I'm going to save it, close, and I'm actually going to physically send it over there. I could automate this process, but for, again, this particular example, we prefer a command button here to actually send it over to that approver. So off it goes to IT. As the IT administrator, he or she would probably have received some type of notification to go ahead and log into their NetSuite account. They may have, have some invoices that need approving. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out of NetSuite here real quickly, and then sign back in as IT. Now we're going to access the same tab within the NetSuite interface, but for our purposes we're going to access our invoice queue for IT. And you notice I'm in my approver review folder. Here's my American Computers. I do have the DocuPeak business process view, so I can get a quick look at the expense items, date, amount, invoice number, but I do also want to go ahead and open up the image as well. Of course, I have the option to view any related documents to this, so I'm going to go ahead and view that. Okay, I do have a couple here. And you notice these just keep opening up in web pages. So I could go ahead and view maybe a related purchase order to the American Computers, and I could put these together to maybe view them on dual screens to match them up. But I can see this purchase order does match, so I'm going to go ahead and close that window down, and I'm going to approve this and send it back to accounting. Quick, easy save. Close this window. You notice now I have a green check that's been applied to show that it's been approved. Simply going to check this and send it back to accounting. Now leaves my queue. And I'm going to sign out here and simulate an accounting clerk signing back in. And what we'll do is we'll take a look at our invoicing queue for accounts payable. And there's our American Computers that's been approved. You notice it does not have a NetSuite ID though. The bill transaction has not been created yet within NetSuite. So what we're going to do here is actually create that from the DocuPeak interface. So I'm going to just immediately post this to NetSuite. And you notice it has pulled back a NetSuite ID because the transaction has been created. So let's go ahead and take a look at that in NetSuite. We go ahead and look at our bill list. Should have one in here for American Computers dated today, which is the 26th. Go ahead and view that. So the transaction has been created. We do have our expense items with header, and we do have a tab in here where we can view the attached invoice. So this was all automatically done simply by me clicking the post button, command button that we inserted in the DocuPeak interface. One of many ways we can automate the creation of a transaction within Netsuite. And of course at this point we could print out, we could email whatever it is you need this document to do once it's in Netsuite, but now it can be easily searched within Netsuite. And that's the quick overview of a sample accounts payable workflow with our integration with Netsuite. I hope you found this demonstration informative, and look for more in the future. Have a great day.